What are contingencies? A contingency is where a buyer has made an offer on a home and the seller has accepted it, but the sale is subject to certain criteria being met. These criteria, or contingencies, typically fall under 4 major categories: appraisal, loan approval, inspection, and reports and disclosures. The buyer is given time to do their due diligence in all of these areas. Hi, I'm Susan Feldman with Susan Says Real Estate and eXp Realty. Here's what you need to know. Contingencies are negotiated and committed to upfront in the purchase agreement and must be cleared in order to finalize and complete the sale. Let's look at each category. The inspection contingency gives the buyers the right to investigate the property. If the buyers aren't happy with whatever they discover during the inspection, they can back out of the deal. Sometimes, after reviewing the inspector's reports, buyers will either ask for things to be repaired or ask for a credit to the purchase price based on the finding. If a mutually acceptable agreement can't be reached, the buyer has the option to back out and have their earnest money returned to them. In our area, the typical inspections are structural, pest, roof, mold, and maybe a foundation or soil inspection. They may even do an inspection on the sewer line if the inspector thinks it's warranted. It really just depends on the home and what's customary due to the home's age and location. For disclosures, these are the required forms that give the seller the opportunity to fully disclose anything and everything to do with the home. Please watch my disclosure video to get a better idea about what things need to be disclosed. As for the reports, these are things like the title and escrow report, state and local reports, and all kinds of advisories. In regards to the appraisal, we're talking about the appraisal that's done by the bank. It's important to know that the only thing that the bank cares about is can they sell the property to get their money back if the buyer goes AWOL and doesn't make the payment. If a home does not appraise for the contracted amount, the buyer will not be able to get their loan. In order to close, the buyer would either have to come up with a difference between the appraised value and the agreed upon price, or the seller would have to agree to reduce the purchase price to the appraised value. Typically, there's also a loan contingency. This one is basically that if the buyer is unable to get their loan for any reason, they don't have to close. So how do contingencies affect the sales process? What's the timing and how does it work with earnest money deposit? Please watch my next video on contractual timelines to find out. As always, I'm Susan Feldman with Susan Says Real Estate. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about this topic, and if you'd like to talk to me about selling your home, I'd love to be the one to do that for you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll tune in next time to hear what Susan says.